Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. The purpose of this video is to help you apply what you've learned about telling time in Spanish. Be sure to study that topic in your textbook, watch that grammar tutorial video. You can also Google the topic and you'll find some great YouTube videos that explain how telling time works in Spanish. When you're ready to apply what you've learned, then come here. So the first question is, how do you say what time is it in Spanish? ¿Cómo se dice what time is it? ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? Literally, what hour is it? This is the official way of asking the question. Informally, many Spanish speakers will ask the question, ¿Qué horas son? They pluralize it, and it means exactly the same thing. What time is it? Now, stating the time, you'll either say es la or son las. In the majority of cases, you'll say son las. If it's 1 o'clock, then you use es la. So it's 1 o'clock. How would you say that? Remember es la and then the number. Es la una. So it is 1 o'clock. Es la una. Now, the number 1 has a masculine and a feminine form. We have un and una. The reason why it's una is because you're referring to the hour, and the word hour is feminine, la hora. It's grammatically feminine, so that's why we say es la una instead of un or uno. We say una. Es la una. It's 1 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock. Now here's where you use the other one, the plural, because it's more than 1 hour. ¿Cómo se dice it's 2 o'clock? Son las dos. Son las dos. Son las dos. It's 3 o'clock. ¿Cómo se dice? Son las tres. Son las tres. So as long as you know your basic numbers, you've got it made. Son las tres. It's 3 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock. Son las cinco. Son las cinco. It's 5 o'clock. Son las cinco. Son las cinco. It's 7 o'clock. Son las siete. Son las siete. Son las siete. It's 10 o'clock. Son las 10. Son las 10. It's 10 o'clock. Son las 10. It's noon. How do you say it's noon? ¿Cómo se dice it's noon? Es mediodía. Es mediodía. Literally, it is midday. And the two words are put together. And it's medio because it's el día. It's grammatically masculine. So mediodía. Es mediodía. It's midnight. ¿Cómo se dice it's midnight? Es medianoche. Es medianoche. It's midnight. Es medianoche. It's media with an A because noche is grammatically feminine, la noche. And the two words are put together, mid and night. Es medianoche. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. So how do we add the equivalent of the AM and the PM in the Spanish-speaking world? So 1 o'clock in the morning will be, 1 you know is es la una, so what do we add to that? De la mañana. Es la una de la mañana. Literally 1 in the morning. It's 1 in the morning. Es la una de la mañana. Literally, it's actually of the morning. So 1 of the morning, but it means in the morning when you translate it. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Otra vez es la una, pero in the afternoon, ¿cómo se dice? Es la una de la tarde. Es la una de la tarde. So de la tarde, of the afternoon, but again, it's 1 in the afternoon. Es la una de la tarde. It's 10 o'clock in the evening. Son las 10 de la noche. Son las 10 de la noche. Son las 10 de la noche. So remember, in the morning, de la mañana, in the afternoon, de la tarde, and then after 6 o'clock, generally, de la noche. ¿Cómo se dice on the dot? It's 2 o'clock on the dot. Son las 2 en punto. Son las 2 en punto. How do we add minutes after the hour? It's 2:10. Son las 2:10. Son las 2:10. So we insert the word and, 2 and 10. It's 2 and 10. Son las 2:10. In other words, it's 2:10. ¿Cómo se dice? It's 2:25. Son las 2:25. Son las 2:25. Remember E and then the number. So it's 2 and 25, literally, which means it's 2:25. Son las 2:25. Now, if you say son las 3:15, that would be correct, but we also have an expression for a quarter after the hour. Son las 3:15. Son las 3:15. Cuarto. So 3 and a quarter, meaning a quarter of an hour. You might recognize that the word cuarto also means a room, and remember that rooms have 4 walls, and in some situations they're referred to in English as your quarters, right? Okay, so the number 4 being key there. So a fourth, a quarter. Son las 3:15. Now you could say also for this one, son las 3:30. I'm sorry, son las 3:30. I gave that one away. Okay. Son las 3:30. Son las 3:30. Son las 3:30 o son las 3:30. So you could say son las 4:50. We also have a subtraction method in Spanish. Do you remember how you do this with the subtraction method? You have to say it's 5 o'clock. Literally, it's 5 o'clock minus 10. ¿Cómo se dice? So you could say son las 4:50, 4:50. You could use the subtraction here. Son las 5 menos 10, so it's 5 minus 10, which would be 4:50. There's also another way that some Spanish speakers use. They start with the minutes. It's like saying in English it's 10 till 5, literally. So son 10 para las 5. Para means for, but in this case it means till. So it's 10 till 5. Son 10 para las 5. And you have to have the article here, las 5. Son 10 para las 5. So we have there's a variety of different ways that you could say this. So again, I could say son las 4:50, son las 5 menos 10, o son 10 para las 5. Okay, another important question that you need to know is how do you ask at what time in Spanish? At what time? Not what time is it, but at what time? ¿Cómo se dice at what time? ¿A qué hora? ¿A qué hora? ¿A qué hora? So whenever you hear the "a" there, someone is asking you at what time. ¿A qué hora? If you want to say at 2 o'clock, the same word, a las dos, at 2 o'clock, a las dos. So at 4 o'clock, a las 4, at 5 o'clock, a las 5, at 7:20, a las 7:20, and so forth and so on. Okay, well, the only thing left to do is, if you're understanding how this works, to get really good at it, you just have to practice a little bit. So if you can make this up on your own if you want to keep practicing until you're almost perfect at saying it. Then you can write down on a piece of paper, just randomly write down times, or you can write down a time or type it out on your computer and say it. Type out another one and then say it, and just keep forcing yourself to do it. That's the only way to just have it roll off of your tongue when you see a time, is just putting in the effort to practice a little bit. So here, let's just go through these very quickly. 2:17 a.m. How would you express this time? Son las 2:17 de la mañana. Son las 5:55 de la tarde. O son 5 para las 6 o son las 6 menos 5. Son las 6:02 de la mañana. Son las 7:53 de la noche. O son 7 para las 8 o son las 8 menos 7. Son las 8:33 de la mañana. Es medianoche. Son las 8:05 de la mañana. Son las 10:20 de la noche. Son las 2:35 de la mañana. Son 25 para las 3 o son las 3 menos 25. Son las 7:44 de la noche. Son 16 para las 8 o son las 8 menos 16. Son las 9:51 de la noche. Son 9 para las 10 o son las 10 menos 9 de la noche. Son las 5 de la mañana. Well, that's it. That's the only way to get good at it, is just to force yourself to practice for a while, and you will reap the rewards of if you invest a little time in doing that. Okay, so if you didn't get them all right, then go back to the beginning of the practice part and just keep playing it until you're able to answer all the questions correctly, and then you've really learned something. That's it for this video.